Oh my god. I got chicken nuggets. Hello everybody, I hope you guys like that video of me running in the rain and away from the cold, getting like my chicken nuggets. It's been really rainy in LA this past week, so this video is kind of inspired by that, and I wanted to talk about like how you could tell a lot from someone based on like their attitude about the rain, or not their attitude, but just their feeling that they have towards like the rain. Because I've noticed like throughout my lifetime, I've definitely like shifted my attitude and my feeling towards rain, which is quite interesting because it like ranges from negative to quite positive in a sense. So if you want, you could pause the video and kind of like reflect like if your attitude or your feelings have changed towards the rain, and kind of reflect on why. And then after you do that, come right back and I'm going to tell you a quick story, and we're going to dive right into this. Okay, so a quick story is that the other day I was getting groceries for my mom and my stepfather, and then it was raining, of course, and I went into the grocery market, got a lot of stuff, pasta, I think a rotisserie chicken, and I was meal prepping, so like chicken thighs. And finally when I arrived at the cash register, I realized I didn't bring my bags, and in California they don't have like plastic bags, I think, in the grocery store, or they're not like as common now. So but people typically buy bags and they take their bags to the store, and you know, usually they're a lot sturdier. I have one right here. So you know, I didn't have the bags, and the point is that I was like, okay, like I'll just use the store bags, which are cardboard. And of course, me being unlucky, I got the cardboard bags or whatever. I'm trying to see if I have any right here, but they didn't have like any handles on them. So then there's me, like with like these two big bags, and I'm sure this is like a very common occurrence, with like all this heavy stuff like in my two arms. And mind you, this was post gym, so like I had already lifted and exercised my arms, so my arms were already noodles. And then I was trying to like wrap these noodles around like these two cardboard bags, and like just trying to like press them against, you know, like my chest right here. Like I was like, boop. And then I was like, okay, like I just gotta run like in the rain, like, and I had a giant raincoat on, you know, felt like a ninja, you know, like little Jedi, just like, you know, just like running, no arms. And then I got to the car. Luckily I have the hatchback, so then I was like, okay, just open that and go back. And then when I arrived to my mom's house, I was like, okay, like I was able to get to the car without the integrity of the bags being compromised. And then I go, and then I realize, oh my god, like, you know, I still have to walk down all these steps, and I still have to get to my mom's house. So then I grab the bags, and my mom, of course, has like these giant steps actually going down because her house is like on the incline. And luckily I was able to make it to the door. But of course you guys already know where this is going. Like a bunch of stuff was about to like just run out of the bag. It was just like collapsing on me. Like the whole world right there felt like it was collapsing in on me. I was like, here comes the chicken and the chicken thighs, and it's gonna be embarrassing, and I'm wet, you know, and I spent so much money on this good food, and some of it's gonna fall on the floor, and it's gonna be dirty. The dogs are gonna come out around. The neighborhood dogs are gonna start barking at me. Anyway, so I just run, and my mom and my stepfather are on the couch, and I'm just like, yeah. And then I just like freaking like, I don't know, Greek discus throw the bags like onto the granite counter. Yeah. And then it was secure. Point is, the rain made this way worse, this whole experience way worse of using cardboard bags. Uh, but cardboard bags usually aren't that bad. So that was just a quick funny story for you guys of something that happened to me this past week. All right. Now, where does this story kind of where am I going with this story? So let's get into that. The story goes into the category of like the rain, because the rain is honestly the antagonist here, right? In a lot of movies, for example, like Parasite, the director juxtaposes like the South Korean family coming, right, the lower class family, right, and the South Korean upper class family. Like he puts the scene side by side. In one scene, there is flooding throughout like their entire, I think, like apartment, right, and it's just awful for them. This giant storm is a nightmare, right? But then for the upper class family, right, the little girl is splashing, going through puddles, blah blah blah. So as you can see, like the rain, your attitude towards the rain kind of changes based on maybe the type of class you are, right? But it also could tell you a lot about like where you live, right? For example, like, California had that law about like not allowing plastic bags. If I had plastic bags, this story about me, like, getting like all crazy and whatever with the giant cardboard bags, right? Maybe it wouldn't have happened, right? I'm not saying that it's a bad law or anything, but I'm just saying that effect in California, kind of had like a butterfly effect, right? I'm not saying maybe it's good or bad, right? Because, maybe on the upside, right, maybe there's no plastic bags going over sea turtles' faces or something like that, right? But I'm just saying, my attitude towards the rain definitely kind of changes in California based on that. But I will also say maybe it's also even an adult thing, right? It's also not just a socioeconomic thing, but an age thing. So for example, when I was in elementary school, I remember the rain meant rainy days, which we would sit inside, we'd eat, and yeah, we wouldn't get to play outside, but I remember feeling cozy, and like sometimes if the teachers were nice, they would make like hot cocoa or whatever, and I would get to like talk inside with all my friends, and I like board games, so we'd play board games. So like I used to love the rain because of that, right? But then as an adult, you do have to like buy your groceries, right? And you have to drive, right? If here in LA, the rain sucks because like sometimes people don't know how to drive in the rain. They're like driving all chaotic, they drive super fast. So you may not want to deal with all that stuff. So maybe the attitude towards the rain also changes with not only your socioeconomic status, but also your age. And then also, if you live in a more tropical region, as I'm sure everyone knows, there are hurricanes, right? Hurricanes, if you've never been in one, it's just a ton of rain, lights go out, could be quite severe, everything gets flooded. And maybe you may not look so favorably on the rain if you come from a tropical region. But maybe it's not favorable or unfavorable. Maybe it just becomes like a way of life, And but then again, like in other places, like if you have drought, like California was in a drought for a bit, but Texas has drought, a bunch of other places have drought. When there's rain, maybe you see it as, oh wow, like, we really need this, we need water, right? And you may see it as like the rain as a blessing, right? And I think those different perspectives. So the rain is one of those things that I think everyone has like their thoughts about, and I think it could say a lot about them depending on how they feel. It could also talk to like where they are in life, right? So maybe maybe next time, you guys want to go out on a date and you're trying to meet someone, or maybe, you're with your significant other, and if you have like a curiosity, maybe ask them like what do you think about the rain? Like, I don't know. It's like this universal thing that I think most people have like opinions about, and it's one of those things that like you could speak very positively or like negatively about it. Um, and usually it's maybe tied to like an experience, right? It can't be like, I guess, like coffee, for instance, it's just like people might just have the opinion like, I don't like it, I don't like coffee, right? But then it's like the rain, like, yeah, I don't like rain. It's like, well, rain is just like falling water, so like, what do you mean? Like, you don't like rain. Like, why don't you like rain? Is it because you get wet? Is it because it's cold, right? Is it because of natural disasters, right? Um, I don't know. Whereas, like, if you don't like coffee, it's like, well, I mean, you're just built that way. Like, maybe it's like your taste buds or genetics or something like that, right? Whereas I think reigns some divider between like class and age, and maybe race or like, place that you live, like demographic wise, and I don't know, just maybe religion, right? Some people think, uh, the rain is something spiritual and holy, right? But I guess wherever you are in life, I think I do like one of these quotes that life is about life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain, and that's like a Vivian Green quote. So I just wanted to put that out there because it's one of my favorite quotes, and I think it's very relevant. Uh, so again, so very chill video this week, but I wanted to talk about that because I think throughout this past week in LA, the rain has been quite cold, and I think it could be quite dismal. But there are benefits, like for example, like I got to cuddle with my dog right there in the warmth, and that was pretty cool and cozy. So, well, it was cool in the sense that it's great, not like temperature wise. It was like quite warm actually. Anyway, so keeping it chill, keeping it lighthearted this week, and I'll talk to you guys. I'll talk to you guys. Yeah, I mean, I'll see you guys in the next video. So